Everyone's here. The meeting can commence. What's first on the agenda?
We should discuss the displacement of the noble houses. I motion to make House Dul Kef a priority. Sharing occupancy with the Halls of Healing is not ideal for us or the Heralds.
I'd remind the mediary that your house chose that location. This is a problem of your own making.
House Veth'aal seconds that. We chose the keep, as it made the most sense. House Dul Kef, meanwhile, chose to strategically hoard medical supplies. They should not be rewarded for such actions.
Your accusation is baseless, mediary. There is no evidence of any such theft.
Regardless, the act is suspicious, whereas our house has demonstrated its commitment to service by staying at the keep.
Agreed. Construction will begin with House Veth'aal, followed by the Ministry of State. House Dul Kef and all the other branches of the Halls of Authority come secondary.
Then it will be done. If all have spoken their piece, let us move on to the next item. Continuing on from a previous discussion, let us discuss the state of the refugee camp.
As the House in charge of employment, the Ministry of State continues to monitor the situation and fill needs where necessary.
At a speed that is not acceptable. The conditions there are brutal. We must do what we can to ameliorate them.
With all due respect, mediary, we cannot fit square pegs into a round hole. A farmer cannot serve where a mechanic is required.
Then train them. Don't sit on your hands and do nothing.
And how much time will that take? Not to mention there's no guarantee these people are even capable.
We will not waste time training the weak. If they are unwilling to serve, they must be culled.
As you command, Speaker.
Moving on, let us proceed to the next item on the agenda.
There is the question of the zealots and their continued presence, both here and outside of Veth'aal.
It's time to take a stance on all who support Jandar's teachings. We must root them out from the inside before the poison spreads.
Are you implying, mediary, that there are zealot sympathizers among us?
I am not implying. I know this for a fact. Some have even said our noble houses may be aiding a few.
You speak blasphemy.
I speak the truth, and if such truth came to light, surely our speaker would not tolerate such treachery.
No, he would not. In fact, he would impale such traitors on the peak of the Scale Citadel itself.
If I may, I'd argue this debate is a question of law. Where is the line drawn? Obviously, if the accused is found guilty, then they deserve the harshest of punishments. If there is any doubt, however...
Doubt does not exist when you are the mouth of the great serpent. If I proclaim someone a zealot, then that is what they are.
Then this matter is closed. Let us move to the next item on the agenda.
I'd like to bring up the subject of immigration. As you all know, we have agents all across the settled systems, which include people from outside Veth'aal. It's my belief that many of these people would be willing to serve House Va'ruun and become promised.
There is precedence given recent events, and additional hands are very much needed.
I strongly disagree. Our city is in a state of chaos, and you would bring our enemies to our front door? No, I cannot abide.
They would be closely vetted and their behavior monitored. In fact, you can do it personally, mediary. Unless you doubt the Ministry of State's capability to do so.
Enough. As Speaker, it is my responsibility to protect the citizens of Dazra. This proposal flies in the face of that edict. I will not consider it.
Understood. Let us then move on to the next item on the agenda. We should have a discussion about any potential leaks regarding the nature of the cataclysm.
There has been talk brewing of the experiment itself. Naturally, the Ministry of State will correct the error of their ways.
That's fine, but what's the official story? Blaming the zealots is convenient, but also difficult to explain. I doubt the Ministry of State will want such an embarrassment to fall on their house.
Nor should they be asked to. The blame should fall on no single party. We may also want to safeguard the former speaker's reputation, considering he was the voice of the Great Serpent.
I disagree. We will want to remove the mystique of Jinan's line. The acting speaker being of a different house is bound to cause fissures.
The mystique exists for a reason. Blaming the grandson of Jinan Varun, regardless of its veracity, is not a path I care to walk.
No, we present the truth. The Great Serpent himself passed judgment on Anasko Varun and severed his line. To question my authority as acting speaker is to question his will, and those who doubt will be dealt with in full display of the populace.
Understood. Let us proceed to the next item on the agenda.
I would like to bring up the topic of our acting speaker. When this role was chosen, it was meant to be a temporary position. But as each day passes, it feels more and more permanent.
Unfortunately, the city is in no condition for such a blanket transfer of power. I will continue to act as speaker until things stabilize.
Which means we have no timetable for such talks to even begin. We also do not have a process for electing a new speaker when the time comes.
It's unfortunate Anasko had no children. It would make the succession much more simple.
Or difficult, if the current regime continues to grip the seat so tightly.
Do not question my motives, Medieri. I sit on this seat to serve House Varun and the city of Dazra. And I will continue to serve as speaker until I alone deem it necessary to step down.
Of course. We will table the matter for now, and on that note, it appears we are out of time.
Then we will assemble at a later date. All must serve.
We have survived, but at such a great cost.
You would speak with me?